What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. SVG wins again, back-to-back at Watkins Glen. Absolutely takes the whole field back to the woodshed and dominates. I mean, absolutely obliterates the field today. That's going to be an awesome race to win diecast. First win with that sponsor for SVG. First time the number 97, I believe, is won in the Nascar Cup Series since 2005. Maybe the Richmond Fall Race. Could be tripping on that one with, of course, Kurt Busch. So that's a little bit of a Larry McNugget, if you will. What a interesting scene it is. It is watching Watkins Glen in the month of May. I don't know. You can't make it up. It definitely feels a little bit like 2020. Dover has an all-star race. Watkins Glen in May, it does feel like 2020 with the craziness of the schedule. Of course, that diecast should be offered for pre-orders very, very soon. You can pre-order all the other SVG diecasts over there at Circle B Diecast. Free shipping code, if you haven't seen already. For the month of May, the free shipping code has been extended. So it was, April only. Now it is still running in May. Take advantage of it while you can, while it lasts. Any orders $30 or more, you get free shipping. Enjoy it. So, my honest take on today's Watkins Glen race, and I apologize if the audio is a little bit lower. I think this mic is actually broke, so I'm having to hold the mic a little bit closer. I apologize if the audio sounds like it's, very thin. So, it happens. We'll keep on keeping on. Pretty much two things happened today at Watkins Glen. Two things. A tent flew onto the track. Apparently there was some type of wind event or something in the infield. A tent flew on the track. They had to throw a yellow. And SVG just absolutely obliterated the whole field all day long. That's it. I don't think there was a single wreck for actual incident. The only caution that I could think of that actually happened because of, a car having a problem was Joey Logano, who had a tire go down. And that inevitably put debris on the racetrack. I'm not going to lie. Road course racing right now in the next-gen era, it's very sterile. It feels very, very, very clean and not in a good way. Like, I remember the Gen 6 cars, the COTs, road course racing. It was like at times it'd be like a demolition derby, a wild card event. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, it's extremely fun watching one guy dominate the whole race. I like that, right? It's fun. But, dude, it doesn't feel like Watkins Glen. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? The road course racing, it feels like a practice session more than an actual event. There was some strategy at the end of the race. That was fun. But, man, the Watkins Glen that I know, you got hard crashes. You got part failures, you got spin outs, you got all kinds of stuff. They're fishing cars out of the kitty litter because they overshoot a corner. That's the Watkins Glen I know. I'm just keeping it a buck, man. The O'Reilly race yesterday, absolutely incredible stuff. You had just an awesome finish, whole bunch of crashes, the truck race as well. And then you watch the Cup race, and you're watching sports cars. That's what it is. They're designed to go 24 hours at a road course in any country, in any place in the world, without a part failure. That's what they're designed to do. That's what these chassis are based off of. It's pretty simple to see the next-gen cars race drastically different than the O'Reilly Series cars, which did, yes, again, a great show yesterday, in my opinion. W call by Adam Alexander once again on the CW broadcast. They had a fantastic broadcast once again. Low key, he reminds me a lot of Mike Joy back in the early 2000s, where it's just like you're in your prime and you got a lot of years ahead of you, God willing. So W call by the CW camp, doing fantastic stuff over there with the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. Hopefully they don't change the actual car and just leave it alone, because it's the best racing right now in NASCAR. And the best broadcast. And don't get me started on the broadcasting this week. So I get it. This is the first time Fox has ever had the Watkins Glen coverage, as it's traditionally a summer event. What is it? USA, NBC, maybe TNT, maybe. Anyways, my honest take on the broadcast, there was some goof ups. So in the truck race on Friday, the leaders, I believe, they went through, I think it was turn 6 or something, and there was a truck in the background. It was Ross Chastain. He got spun out or whatever, And the broadcast crew mentioned it, that there's a truck around, and it was Ross Chastain he wrecked. They did not show the truck that was wrecked for about 20 to 25 seconds after the fact. The broadcast crew already acknowledged it. It was about 25 seconds later than they actually showed the stopped truck on the track. That's embarrassing. I'm just going to keep it a buck. You got to be way quicker than that. I know that little things like that can really sink or swim a broadcast in terms of a fan's perspective. That was bad. And in the Cup race today, oh my goodness, man. It was like 10 to go, and you had Josh Berry. I think he got off track and he made contact with another car. I think, I don't know. They didn't show the replay, so I have no idea for sure. But they were focusing on other cars, and it was kind of in the background. I want to say it was Cody Ware in the 51 car. And the car was like parked in the grass. And Kevin Harvick and Clint Bowyer, they're talking about, that's going to be a caution. When I kid you not, when I tell you, 5 minutes, I believe it was 5 minutes after that specific moment, they actually showed the car. And all they said was the 51 car was involved with the 21 car, Josh Berry or something, and he drove away. He made a pit stop or something. They literally are having a battle for the win. It's less than 10 to go, and there's a car stopped on the track, and the announcer's like, that's going to be a caution. It looked like it. They don't even show the replay of it. It's like, why? It blows me away, some of the broadcast directing on the Fox broadcast. Because you don't see this on the Amazon stuff, the NBC, USA, TNT. You just don't see it. Blows me away. That was one of the biggest missed calls of the whole year, in my opinion, because as a fan, I'm sitting here wondering, they're going to have a restart. They didn't have one, but you got to update the fans. That right there, I have no idea how they missed that one. That one, and when they showed the Cody Ware car, the whole front end and the rear of the car was jacked up. So I don't know if he got in a wreck early in the race, but you got to show that. Earlier in the race, there was, I think it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They were going to commercial, and you know how they show like a short montage of some of the early events in the race? Ricky Stenhouse Jr. went off track in the grass. I don't remember one bit of them mentioning that in the entire early portion of the broadcast either. This was a lap, around lap 20, give or take. So, to me, the fact that they missed that one as well was kind of crazy. So, that's 2 or 3 goof-ups, so to speak, this weekend by the Fox crew. Fortunately, they got one more race for the Cup Series, right? The All-Star race next week, which is at Dover. The All-Star race being at Dover is one of the most interesting decisions I've ever seen in terms of scheduling for the NASCAR Cup Series. Last race on Fox for the year. Very thankful for that. Amazon's coverage is literally around the corner. Hopefully, they don't screw it up and they do a fantastic job just like they did last year. In my honest opinion, the Dover All-Star race, this is going to be one of the more, I don't even know how to describe it. They have done literally no promotion for this event. Almost every time I've watched NASCAR, through late April and early May, it's all-star fan voting. It's, this driver, and they're promoting it. They're doing little skits and funny things on pre-race, like, hey, vote me into the all-star race. I have seen next to no promotion of this event. If you would have told me they canceled the all-star race this year, I would probably believe you. I have seen absolutely no hype of it. It's an afternoon race. This is the first scheduled all-star race to be in the daytime, I want to say, since the early 90s. I could be mistaken on that. They might have had one that got postponed or something, but in terms of actually scheduling it, I think it's the first time since the early 90s. I know Dover doesn't have lights, but it's straight out of 2020, man, in terms of craziness on the schedule. And from my understanding, it's going to feel a lot more like a points-paying race, where there's a lot more cars in the field. I think it's like 30 cars or something. I don't know. I didn't read too much into the All-Star rules before I filmed this, but I remember somewhere it was a lot more cars on the track for the actual main event than normal. And I want to take this moment to talk about the All-Star event, because to me, it's broken. Okay, I'm just going to keep it a buck. I don't know what y'all think about it, and I'm just going to give my honest opinion on it. It's not perfect, but I've been pondering, what should NASCAR do regarding the All-Star race? And the only idea I could come up with is something similar that NFL, NHL, and of course NBA has done with their all-star programs. The players, they don't want to participate in all-star events. They don't want to get hurt. They don't want to, they want to participate, but they don't want to, actually try like they would in a playoff game or something because they don't want to get hurt. I can understand that. But NASCAR's all-star race, the payout hasn't really increased. It seems like the drivers don't really want to try a lot sometimes, right? Last year's event was definitely better than, maybe the 5 events before that. But there's not much incentive for the teams. It's the same payout, I believe it was, since the Winston Cup days. These cars have gotten way more expensive since the Winston Cup days. The only thing I could think of that would maybe get the all-star race back is if they increase the payout drastically or just completely make the all-star race a points-paying event as it is. And I know that goes against tradition. I understand that. The theory I've had is this. What if they had it at a random 1.5 mile? Let's say Kansas, for example. It's literally just a 400-mile Kansas race. The title of the event, Advent Health All-Star Race, right? Because they sponsor the Spring Kansas race. For the historical side of it, you want to continue to have a all-star race winner. So the winner of this event would be credited as the all-star winner. The event has the $1 million payout, right, that the traditional all-star race gets. Maybe you have it pay out more points. I don't know. It's the whole field, right? And the next thing I would also add to this, it's the one event throughout the entire schedule that the whole industry basically says if we want to try something experimental with the car setups or whatnot, this is the one event to do so. So if it goes haywire, it's okay. Very similar to how the All-Star was for many, many years. They would try these really interesting ideas to see if it would work in the NASCAR Cup Series. That would be the only thing I can think of for the All-Star race, right? Because the last 5 to 7 years, the All-Star race really has lost its interest. The drivers don't seem really excited about it. The teams, the industry, again, they haven't even barely promoted the Dover All-Star race. Usually, I remember back in the Sprint Cup days, they would be talking about it for a month straight before then because it was on the Speed Channel. So every time they had a practice and qualifying show for a random event in early or late March or early April, they would be talking about the Speed Channel's event, which was the All-Star race. So I'm curious what y'all think about that. Make sure to comment down below. Huge congratulations to Shane Van Gisbergen winning at Watkins Glen. I tell you what, man, the conversation for the greatest road course racer ever in NASCAR history, I think it's definitely a real one. Is it Tony Stewart? Is it Jeff Gordon? Or is it Shane Van Gisbergen? A lot of people don't remember, but they only used to have 2 road course races for the longest amount of time during the Winston Cup and Nextel Cup years, even Sprint Cup years. So Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, they only got 2 opportunities every year to win a road course race. A lot of the teams in the garage area, they didn't even try because it was only 2 events. They would just chalk it up as a DNF, right? A lot of them would actually have relief drivers. So they would bring in, some road course ringers and whatnot. My point is, the competition nowadays is way, way higher than it was back in the Winston Cup days when Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart were winning them every single year. What is it a fair conversation to have? Is SVG, Jeff Gordon, or Tony Stewart? Who is the best statistical road course driver ever in NASCAR history? I think it's a fair conversation. Thank y'all for watching the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's all for now. Should have a new diecast haul later this week. Hopefully it has some good stuff on board. That's all for now. Have a blessed one. DB, signing off.